as almost 5 decades of guaranteed abortion rights have been immediately and totally reversed.
By the late 19th century, practically every nation had legal restrictions on abortion. The primary sources of such legislation were the colonial nations of Europe, Britain, France, Portugal, Spain, and Italy, who enforced the respective laws restricting abortion on their colonies. Mexico is not the only country with limitations on women's access to safe abortion. Services are not easily available, not even in the United States, where abortion is permitted. In truth, a large number of women and girls encounter significant financial or legal barriers to obtaining safe abortion services because of onerous laws, a shortage of doctors, inadequate financing, or political opposition. So for today's video, join me as we tackle everything you need to know about the Abortion Act in the US. But before we get into it, do me a favor and smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button for notifications whenever a new video is published. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Regulatory barriers in the United States to abortion. Safe abortion restrictions seem to be becoming tougher in the US. State and federal lawmakers have restricted access to legal abortion ever since the Supreme Court's historic Roe v. Wade decision in 1973, which recognized women's right to privacy in their choice to have an abortion. Such RAP laws typically aim to either restrict women's access to legal abortion by enforcing mandatory time limits, or requiring mandatory and occasionally manifestly inaccurate counseling, or they aim to restrict access to abortion to specific groups like rape victims or women whose lives are in danger. Along with that, women with little monetary capacity confront extra barriers to safe abortion, which is especially harmful to already disadvantaged women. Since 1977, there has been a government financing ban on abortion services, with the exception of situations involving imminent risk to life, rape, or pedophilia. Additionally, most states do not subsidize abortion services that do not fall under these exclusions. The cost ranges from $500 to $1,500 for a safe abortion. Because of this, women with little money who have not been raped or whose lives are not in jeopardy because of their pregnancy may be forced to decide between carrying an undesired pregnancy to term and resorting to desperate means that may damage their well-being. The American Supreme Court has regularly held that blatant restrictions on abortion are unconstitutional since 1973. However, the court has given governments permission to control and restrict access to abortions, provided that they do not impose an undue hardship on the person aimed at ending her pregnancy. State and federal lawmakers have pushed the boundaries of the Supreme Court directive throughout the last 10 years, and sometimes they have enacted laws with the express purpose of contesting the legitimacy of legal abortion. Many states enact laws that might actually be very onerous in reality. For instance, several jurisdictions mandate that women and girls who seek to end a pregnancy subject themselves to therapy, which is often obviously prejudiced and clinically incorrect, in addition to being unwelcome. Mandatory waiting periods add cost. As per the Alan Guttmacher Institute or AGI, 24 of the 32 states that mandate obligatory counseling also mandate a certain amount of time, usually 24 hours, between the treatment appointment and the abortion. While a waiting time before a clinical operation may not be clearly inconsistent with the right to health, it may introduce further hurdles to the availability of safe and legal abortions that may be unnecessarily onerous. For instance, unnecessary waiting time necessitates that the patient go to the abortion clinic at least twice in those jurisdictions where the legislation mandates an in-person counseling session rather than one conducted over the phone. As a result, many people are forced to miss work for extended periods of time, and in the 87% of US counties without access to abortion clinics, the required waiting time can necessitate an overnight stay or several long-distance excursions. As of September 2006, 32 states in the United States required counseling for all women seeking abortions, as per the non-profit research group AGI. Despite the fact that several scientific studies have categorically refuted the alleged association between abortion and breast cancer, 3 states mandate that clinics notify women about it. Additionally, 4 states require women to be informed that the baby may be able to experience discomfort at any stage of pregnancy. However, this knowledge runs counter to current scientific research that claims fetuses do not experience pain until the 29th week of pregnancy. In reality, the mandated information about fetal suffering is not only inaccurate scientifically, but also unnecessary for the great majority of abortion patients, since 90% of abortions in the United States take place in the first 12 weeks of pregnancy. As a consequence, the civil right to the greatest achievable level of health is inextricably linked to access to accurate and comprehensive information about medical operations, which is likewise crucial to the concept of full consent. The human right to health is jeopardized when medical personnel are obliged to provide women and girls with biased or incorrect information regarding medical treatments, as the law requires in several American countries. Additional limitations for women. Numerous NGOs with a U.S. presence emphasize that girls often face higher barriers to safe abortion access than adult women. 44 states have legislation in place mandating parental approval or notice prior to a child having an abortion, according to AGI and NARAL Pro-Choice America. More than 20 states have parental permission laws in effect, and in 3 of them, both parents must agree before a child may have a legal abortion. Additionally, legislation in more than 10 states mandates that parents be told of a minor's intention to have an abortion. In 2 of those states, both parents must be advised. Regulations requiring parental permission or notice are controversial for a myriad of reasons, particularly when both parents are required to provide approval or be informed. Experience among abortion providers in the US shows that the great majority of adolescent girls already go to one or both parents for assistance and direction. So regulations about notice and consent mostly affect girls who are weak and can't involve their parents in their decision, like girls who don't talk to either or both of their parents. As such, governments are required by international human rights legislation to always put children's best interest first and to value their opinions in accordance with their developing abilities. Even when the pregnant woman herself expresses a wish to end the pregnancy, a parent's stated objection to abortion should not automatically imply that bringing a pregnancy to term is in the child's best interest. According to a U.S. Supreme Court rule, parental consent legislation must provide a judicial process for waiving permission in specified situations. States must make sure that their laws reflect this decision and sufficiently ensure the protection of all children. That concludes our video. Is abortion legal in your country? Do you think it should be implemented? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Before leaving, don't forget to like, subscribe, and bell for notifications of our future content. With that being said, I will see you in the next one.